Hi Adam, it's Dan here from the Purple Golf Academy. Just going to do analysis of your swing now for you, and I've got a couple of the clips which I've had sent through to me of your swing, probably past and present, so we can have a look at how your swing has developed over time and see where you're at the moment and what we can do to maybe give you some ideas of where we can improve your swing. So just having a look at you now. I think this clip is 2 or 3 years old, and quite a nice sort of free-flowing, loose-limbed swing. This one, sort of not very inhibited by too much, which is nice. It's a nice sort of rhythmical, free-flowing looking action, nice and aggressive into the ball there. So at full speed, a nice looking action. Now, if we just have a little bit closer and sort of get under the bonnet of your swing a bit here, Adam. It's going to highlight here a couple of things about your address position which I think we could probably improve. Now, the first thing is just looking at your balance here at address. Now, I like to see players balanced around the middle of their feet. That gives them the best opportunity to move athletically on their feet and to use the ground effectively in the swing and really fire their legs. So I like to see a line drawn up from the middle of the feet, illustrating the balance of the body. Now with you here, we can see that the majority of your body weight is to the right of that centre line, which suggests that your weight is more on your toes than in the middle of your feet. And if I draw a line down from sort of your backside here, that comes down almost to your heels, which I'd rather see your backside out more behind you than that. Which will really help you stay more balanced in the swing, a bit more stable. If we just take you back here into your backswing and have a look at you here at sort of halfway back, you really get a feeling there that your weight is on your toes and you're sort of almost falling forward a little bit at that point. And we end up with this very long looking backswing position here, which is sort of very loose limbed and free flowing. But I think because your weight is forward, it tends to throw you into this kind of almost slightly over the top position in your downswing here, where you're kind of cutting across the ball a little bit. So you will suffer a little bit from that kind of left to right swing shape and occasionally a bit of a slice, I imagine, in your swing. So just bringing you back down to your address position again here, Adam. Let's just summarise what I think you would benefit from in your address. So you look quite tall in your original address position, your legs look quite straight there, and as I say, your weight's forward. So what I'd like to see is you feeling a lot more grounded, and by that I mean you're almost sitting into your posture more, so that you've got more knee flex, your backside is out behind you, and then you can bend more from the waist, sort of tilting forward down towards the ball. That's going to give you a lower centre of gravity, help you be a little bit more solid and robust, a bit less kind of loose in that backswing, so a bit more of a solid backswing, and probably one that's a bit more powerful because your legs will be able to really fire in the downswing. So what I'd like to see in your posture is that lower legs fine, but I'd rather see your sort of backside a bit more out in this angle, and then your upper body kind of more tilted forward in this kind of angle, so that you're a little bit more balanced and ready to go in your backswing. So those would be my comments as regards your setup there. And the other thing I just noticed is it just looks a little bit like your shoulders are a little bit open there, aiming a bit left of the target, and possibly the same with the hips. You can see that on one of the later clips. If I look at your feet line here, and sort of the general perception of where the middle of the fairway is, it's probably somewhere in this kind of direction, probably about there. So it does look as though your shoulders are a bit open there. That's going to make it more likely that you're going to come down a bit steep, a bit choppy on the ball, a bit from out to in. So what I'd like to see is you getting those shoulders a bit more closed, where they're sort of matching up more to your feet line. That's going to help you with your turn in the backswing. So those are the main things that I noticed from your address position. And then if we just take a look at actually, one thing I think you do very well is you keep your head nicely centered in the swing, so that's very much a positive, Adam. And if we just take you to the top of your swing there, you can see that you stay nicely centered in that box. Your head hasn't moved forward or back, and it hasn't gone up. So that's a good sign, and it stays pretty well centered in the downswing as well. So that's all good stuff. But what I do notice in this downswing is a bit of a sense that left shoulder kind of goes down a bit and sort of tilts in towards the ball. So I'm not completely sure that turn is quite kind of strong enough, quite shallow enough. I'd like to see the shoulders a bit more level. So here that left shoulder is quite down, and the shoulders are sort of quite tilting. It feels like that weight is just moving forward towards that left toe, rather than towards that right heel, which is what I'd actually kind of prefer. Into the downswing, yeah, decent move. Just those arms slinging a bit too much out in front of you though, which is why they're cutting across the ball. So pretty good action, the original swing there. Let's just have a look at your more recent swing. Let's just take you out setup. So setup looks a little better, but I'd still like to see that sort of backside a bit more out behind you there. That's going to help counterbalance you in your swing, allow you to get that upper body tilted over a bit more, so you feel a bit heavier on your feet, as I've already mentioned. Now it looks to me like the turn's a bit better. The camera angle isn't great here for me to be able to see this, but it looks like that turn's a little bit better in this swing. Your shoulders look like they're turning on a little bit more of a level axis, which is good. And the swing looks a little bit more controlled at the top there. And the start down is pretty good. So good signs there. I'll just see if I can pull up this other swing that we have of yours. It's a bit more of a face-on look, because that gives me a better view of that turn, which we can have a little look at now. So I think in this swing you really get that. You can see there it looks like your left, almost like your head kind of tilts a bit, and your left shoulder kind of tilts down towards the ball a bit at this point. So what I'd like you to feel in your swing is that your shoulders remain a bit more level as you make your turn. So the left and the right shoulder stay almost at the same height. They won't do in reality, but just this feeling that that left shoulder is just going down all the time, and it kind of sticks on your left side. It stays left. So what I'd like you to feel in that first move is that left shoulder is moving towards your right hip in your first move. That's going to help you really make sure that you're turning to the right, and that you're keeping your shoulder turn kind of nice and shallow, not too steep. And that'll help you just wind up better in the backswing. It's a shame we haven't got a good face-on view of you, because I think it would be quite interesting, because it looks as though sort of your right hip tends to move a bit to the right in the backswing, and as a result of that, your upper body tends to lean a bit left at the top. So I think we'd see a bit of a sort of almost like a reverse pivoty look at the top of your backswing, which is something we could probably look to improve. And the way to do that is to make sure that you allow your hips to turn as you start your swing. So it's connected with this turn of the shoulders. You really want to feel like you're going to turn your belt buckle and your chest and your shoulders as one in that first move. You tend to keep your hips probably a little bit too square on for too long, and then as a result that left shoulder kind of dives down. So that would be my feeling for you. I think, yeah, it just looks a bit like your weight's a little bit on sort of almost on your left toe at the top there, Adam. And then you sort of have to back up a fraction to make the impact. So your body weight isn't actually moving down the target line in the downswing as we'd like it to. As I say, it'd be good to see a proper face-on angle of your swing, because I think those issues would probably be a little bit easier to see. I mean, don't get me wrong, lovely looking action. The way the arms come down is great, and that arm position at the top there is nice, because it's nicely in front of the body. The hands aren't too high, they're not too far behind the head, and that allows the arms to work down nicely in front of the body. And that is actually a very nice delivery. The right foot's working well, and the club releases nicely. So, it's a good swing, very good swing. No question about that. I'm just looking at ways, obviously, that we can help you improve your consistency and your power as well. So, very good stuff. Just those few things on your setup that I'd like you to sort of have a play around with. And just that first move, allowing those hips to turn and the shoulders to turn sort of more level, and getting that left shoulder moving towards that right hip as you start your backswing. But all in all, good stuff, and yeah, look forward to watching your progress with the guys, and hopefully see some more swings of you soon, Adam. Good luck.